I'm sure it would fit you perfectly.
No, I think that would be just a little too big for me.
That movie was Jerry Lewis from A to Z. For example, the musical numbers in the movie with Count Basie, which was such an incredible sound. He knew every single note, every single inflection, and he studied it.
Jerry Lewis met Count Basie back when he was a kid because his parents were in show business. He and Basie developed something of a friendship over the years. So when he needed to do something with music, he hired Count Basie's orchestra. And in the context of Cinderfella, it works perfectly because this lavish production, all it needs now is a big band.
What were the movies when I was a kid? It's the bigness, the size, humongous elements, and in it, gorgeous, beautiful, lavishness, glamour, color.
I just couldn't believe the color. I mean, I never used color like that. And I remember Jerry Lewis saying, "Bummy, I want lots of color in this picture because as I think film fades as they make print after print after print and through the years, you know. So let's put plenty of color in it." Well, we sure put plenty of color in it. A big set on stage 15, that was a lot of work. That was a big set. I had to work with Jerry and the dance director so that he could do all his dancing on the stair. And as I remember, it was a fairly wide tread and a very short riser, so it made the stairs very long.
The entrance, that very amusing entrance into the ball, is one of the best scenes in Cinderfella.
The clothes Edith had made, gorgeous, beautiful, so stunning.
I remember being so excited when I went for the fittings because I had been such an admirer of hers. I had a red dress with sable trimming and sable cuffs. Oh, God.
Edith Head was such a brilliant costume designer. She knew what my dad wanted. She knew what the art directors wanted, the type of quote-unquote Frank Tashlin cartoon colors, and she just turned it into a totally classy piece.
Maximilian, it doesn't seem possible, but that is Corkhead.
There is nothing like a dame. Judith, you.
Hello.
She came into my office and sat down the way royalty sits. Mr. Lewis, do you have any idea why you want me for this role? I said, yeah, because you're Judith Anderson. And there's only 2 or 3 others that would fit the role. And I can't get none of them, so I figured maybe you would do it.
It always warms a mother's heart when her sons are proud of her.
She said, but, you know, it's very possible that I am much too expensive.
It'll cost a fortune. And you always screaming at me about my spending.
It will be expensive. And as for my screaming, I never raise my voice. Except for that lunatic we have to put up with.
I said, Miss Anderson, apparently you haven't heard, I am very extravagant. And I always go overboard with actors because I've learned years ago, an actor never screws somebody that gave them a present. The next morning, the agent, who happened to have been Herman Citron of MCA, he said, Jer, you're talking about $40,000 a week. I said, really? Well, I'm prepared to pay her $60,000 a week. That was the figure. To show you how what goes around comes around. New York calls me after Cinderfella's been released. They said, Jer, you know what we figured Cinderfella to do, don't you? Domestic U.S.? I said, no. They said, we figured on $3 million, $3.4 million, but the figure is $4.7 million because of Judith Anderson. I said, what are you talking about? He said, Jerry, didn't you hear? She's been touring the country doing Medea. And in every city, she's been on television, in every radio station, and every newspaperman's lap, screaming about your movie and you.
Paramount wanted to release Cinderella in the summer because they needed a Jerry Lewis movie. Jerry Lewis said, no, you can't release this during the summer. It's got to be a Christmas release. That's how I have it all planned. The record album, everything, all the promo. They said, well, we need a Jerry Lewis movie for the summer. He goes, I'll make you one. And so he hastily threw together The Bellboy, which turned out to be one of his all-time best films.
Mr. and Mrs. America and all the ships at sea, let's go to the movies. What with the world and its tensions today,